Hang on, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I can't hear Dan. Hang on. Hello? What the hell's going on? Oh, oh, oh my god. If we are live, by the way, good evening, everyone. Welcome along to the 24 Hours of F1. You probably heard me panicking there in the background. It is because I can't hear my co-commentator, which is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully it'll be fixed just now. Of course, my name is James Head. I'm going to be taking you through at least one truck qualifying indeed. And Shazoo Hype, yes it is indeed the real James Head. We're going to go on board with Menno on the rundown in towards turn number 1 here in Australia. We'll see what he can do, of course, on this lap, coming in towards turn number 1 through the right-hander, then to the left-hander of turn number 2, then down into Whitfield corner at turn number 3. Montana is already up there along with Matos and Sebi Alex, who's up there as well in Whitfield. Now we come through turn number 3, through the left-hander of turn number 4, then in towards where Vettel famously spun in 2010 through turn 5, then in towards the newly repurposed turn number 6 and 7, which is, of course, this right-hander at the end of the first sector, 28.9, I think that was through the first sector from Menno, as he now comes in towards the middle sector split, the quickest middle sector in all of Formula 1, and Menno now reaches towards the end of this middle sector split. This middle sector split is a 44.4 in the middle sector, so very quick indeed, sub 18 seconds through there. Now negotiates the chicane nicely. Montana the bad on top, Sebi Alex in second, Menno there in third, Jerry Zuck and AJ currently fourth and fifth. As Zeno now comes in toward the right-hander of turn number 11, then in toward the right-hander again of turn number 12, then through the left-hander of turn number 13, which is the next corner up and coming, breaking in towards the third gear, up to fourth on the exit of the corner. Jacob's been disqualified for going the wrong way, of course, out on the track. He is starting at the back of the field. Little blocks the same as well. But Sebi on the run toward the line is out on top. In fact, it's Montana out on top to 117.214. Sebi Alex there in second. Menno there in third at 17.283. Only 700 to the second, covering the top 3. Hype saying as well, apparently I'm really silent, which is not that good. Hang on, I'm going to try and turn myself... Oh, another wonder, my mic. It's turned all the way down. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Hopefully Mr. Hoggard is alongside me in the commentary box as well. I'll unmute you. There we go. You are here. Thank goodness for that. You're out of retirement. You're out of retirement. You are here. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, although that was an incredibly stressful run of events there, just trying to get things set up. My settings, my microphone settings were all wrong, so that's all on my end. But we're all good to go now, and we should be able to cover this race, no problems.
Hopefully, yeah. Montana out on top, though. Sebi Alex in second. Menno there in third. In the end, Smokey, I think, actually had a disqualification. I was looking forward to him certainly trying to take it up to Montana. I've just turned my desktop audio, by the way, up as well, so hopefully that is all okay. If not, then let me know in the comment section. We'll try and turn things up a little bit more. But Dan, of course, at the end of qualifying there, Australia, really good qualifying session, and the GOAT, Montana out on top again.
I mean, who else? Let's be fully honest. Who else would be on top? But incredibly tight up at the top of the standings, and that's been a theme I think in these one-shot qualifyings. The top 3 has always been incredibly close so far in this event. So I think we should hopefully get some very nice, close, exciting action heading up there. I'm hopefully going to be able to get into spectator. I was also late into the lobby, so hopefully I can actually get a good look at it once we do go into the race. I should be fine. But yeah. Exciting race, hopefully in front it's going to be your standard 50% distance. And yeah, with well, right now the Team Hamburger dominating at the moment the proceedings out there on the track at the moment. We'll see what they can do as well, and hopefully though we get a bit of variety in the winners. We see some of the other teams try and work their way back into that title fight potentially further down the line.
Definitely so. 500 lights now going out here in Australia, and it is lights out and away we go. Montana gets a very good start. Good start by Menno as well. And behind there's already contact with the wall there on the right-hand side. I think that might have been old school off the line as Montana leads in towards turn number 1 from Sebi Alex in second. Menno there in third. Somebody's absolutely cascaded in the background there. I think old school has spun. Mick, I think I had to cut across the grass there if I'm not mistaken as well. Now in towards Whitfield corner 4 the first time, and Montana leads the way coming through turn number 3. The left-hand return number 4. Then through the right-hand return number 5. Montana out on top. Sebi Alex in second, Menno there in third. My co-commentator has just left the lobby, which is not that great whatsoever. Clearly still having issues with crossplay, but Montana there out on top, Sebi Alex in second, Menno there in third. As we reach toward the end of lap number 1, Charlie Harris right on the back of Menno as well, running down the straight. I'll get everything turned on, by the way, in terms of telemetry and the lights, and hopefully that is all okay. Now Montana though out on top from Sebi Alex in second, Menno there in third. Let me know, by the way, if the volume is better. I am sure it is a lot better now. As Charlie Harris right on the back of Menno. He's on that sort of soft compounded tyres in the Red Bull. Red Bull Esports, of course, we're watching a little bit earlier on. As now Charlie Harris comes around the outside of turn number 11, tries to get the job done, doesn't quite get the job done, but Montana leads on a set of hard. Sebi Alex in second, Menno in third, Charlie Harris in fourth. Do you need another invite, by the way? As Charlie Harris dives it down the inside of turn 13.
Yes, I could do it with another invite into the lobby quickly.
I will commentate literally on this battle of Charlie Harris, and then I'll try and invite you in. Charlie Harris has breezed past Menno down the straight in towards turn number 1, and that is job done there for Charlie Harris. He is through, and he's into that P number 3. Hopefully I can get you in. Hopefully you can see everything going on in the background. Oh, I don't have you as a friend, apparently, which is great, and it's taken me a long time to even know that my invite friends, which is not that good at all. There is action going on in the background. Of course, Montana is under pressure from Sebi Alex there, first and second position. Montana handling that pressure well on that sort of hard compound tyres. As I say, yeah, the invite friend is clearly not working at this stage, coming through on crossplay. We'll go on board with Sebi Alex, who's still on the back of Montana. I will definitely get to you and your invite in just a second. Unless somebody else can invite him, that would be really good. We are down a driver, I believe, as well in the lobby. Montana leading the way, Sebi Alex in second, Charlie Harris in third, and a very good race now as Sebi Alex sets his sights on Montana in towards turn number 11, but not going to get the job done. I think we've just seen Smokey get past J. Cole as well for 13th.
Yeah, and also I have just pinged you a friend request, so you should be able to find me now.
TamD23, is that you?
Yes, that is me. That's my previous alias that I don't use anymore. But yeah,
there we go. There we go. I've accepted your friend request. I now need to send out the invite, which is not that great. But when I'm bored, oh, that's race director. I don't want that. Oh, and everything's just lagged. And Rocco was actually crashed out of the session as well, coming through the final corner. So Rocco, League of Europe Division 1 winner in Austria, is out of the race, and he is out for his team. But Montana leads, Sebi Alex in second. Charlie Harris there in third, now up into third position. I will definitely get around to inviting you. It's just not loading on my end for some reason. This is absolutely ridiculous. Give me a second. Yeah, you can't write the script. You cannot write the script. Unbelievable. Felix saying multitasking. Go to PSN and do invite by game. Okay, right, so I need to do that apparently, says Jess. Montana, Sebi and Charlie currently out on top. I am going to quickly flick on to a different... No, actually, no. I'm going to have to try and do this on my capture card, aren't I? This is the behind the scenes that you never see in thingy. Why am I starting a party? I don't want to start a party. Hang on. How do I even invite you through PS? I don't even get it. Montana, Sebi, and Alex and Charlie Harris are the top 3 anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you should be... I mean, I guess you should be able to find me on Friends. I don't understand why you wouldn't.
I don't have a clue. I really do not have a clue whatsoever. Yeah, lap 4 out of 29. Still Montana out on top. Sebi Alex in second. Charlie Harris in third. There is a pit further down the field. Falls Brendan is into the pit lane along with Micheletti. He's also into the pit lane. Set of mediums and set of softs currently on that car. I would assume they're going set of hards and then possibly transition for set of softs, as you have managed to get in, which is unbelievable.
I'll just say J. Cole is a bit of a legend. That's all I'll say to that.
Clearly, lead commentator here doesn't have a clue what he's doing half the time. Montana they're leading the way, Sebi Alex in second, Charlie Harris there in third. Apparently Nolan said invite from party. Okay, I get you now. We're doing it through Discord though, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. Charlie Harris though right on the back of Sebi Alex coming in towards turn 11, and Sebi actually is going to have to try and go right around the outside. Charlie Harris around the outside of the chicane through turn 9 and 10. Great stuff, and now he's going to be under pressure from Sebi Alex back to the inside line through turn number 10 in towards turn number 11, and now they're side by side in towards the right hand of turn number 11. Montana just about holds the lead, and Sebi Alex just about holds second. Great battle that with Charlie Harris right on the back in third.
Yeah, and I can finally see what's going on. So we do have Montana leading. What a train, though, of course, on that rather peculiar strategy, running from the front, holding everyone up. But one thing that makes this race a really exciting prospect is just the bizarre mix of tyre strategies. Typically in the races leading up to this, we've had a lot of drivers opting for that medium. We do still have quite a lot of medium runners, but with Montana up front on the hards and a mix of medium and soft behind, it's going to make the strategic implications of this race really exciting to watch going forward. As that's, AJ and Jerry going at it then. AJ just managing to hold on in the Alfa Romeo. I'm trying to get caught up with this race, just learning on the fly here, but it is the Alfa Romeo from the AlphaTauri. Montana leading it, Sebi Alex tracing in behind, but yeah, with these tyre strategies, the future of this race is going to be a very exciting prospect.
Definitely so. Jerry's off there right on the back of AJ once again. They do carry a lot of speed down the straight because it's been reprofiled in real life, reprofiled of course in the game on the on F122, and that is why we're seeing such straight line speed. And Jerry right on the back of AJ coming out of the right hand of turn number 10 into the left hand the right hand again of turn number 11. Nobody is close enough though. There's a big old DRS train which I like to see around here. Also latching onto the back, VSR Smokey, who was one to watch out for certainly in this race. He qualified further down the field, obviously picked up an invalidation in qualifying, has made a few positions off the start as well, and Gary's right on the back of this train as well. Gary from Tesco's, of course, a little bit early on. A little bit of lag there coming into the pit lane as Jerry's into the pits. There was a little bit of lag spike further down the field. I think it was Cole Paradox and J. Cole who were going side by side, with Jerry in the pit lane, set of softs off, and now set of mediums go on with little blocks and the most positions gained on 10.
And moving through the field quite nicely there at the moment, of course, keeping an eye out as well. J. Cole was the one that started down at the back of the field, trying to work his way through, actually going around the outside of Jerry, who's just emerged from the pit lane. So that is a very awkward situation that has arisen there, and that's not really worked out for Jerry Zott because he's now behind Cole Paradox as well. So at the moment, Montana still leading, still one hell of a DRS train though, as we've got Matos lining up Colin R. Mason. Those two are going to go wheel to wheel up towards the fast chicane. You can see there though the extra speed of Matos is just going to take him around Colin R. Mason, who is of course Esports Wales double points for this race. So a lot riding on that for him, and he does slip out of position as the soft tyres they were running start to drop off relative, as Montana still holding everyone back on the hards.
And Smokey under pressure there from Little Blocks as well. I think Little actually tried to get the move done. Smokey around the outside. Little Blocks has gone back on the inside. I think he's locked up and he's hit the side of him. And Smokey now is behind Little Blocks once again. And Little is into the pit lane. Not sure if he's picked up damage. Colonel Mason, as you say, with that double point score potentially for ESW, who haven't had the strongest start to 24 hours of F1 events. Colin Mason, though, into the pit lane. Probably their strongest driver. And now they're on a set of medium compound tyres pretty much until about lap 20, I would say, and then they'll be in again for probably a set of mediums or a set of softs later on in this race. Charlie Harris out in the pit lane as well, and J. Cole coming right in the thick of this action as well. The Red Bull is slowing in towards turn number 1, and now J. Cole all over the back of him. Obviously, still, oh my god, J. Cole is through, and he's into 10th position in one of the most unorthodox overtakes I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that was a lag spike for Charlie Harris there, which ultimately set him behind in a fairly spectacular situation. Not the biggest glitch we've seen there in the race in Canada. We saw a ghost safety car driving on track for the entire race. I still have no idea how that happened. Montana still leads with Sebi Alex. Sebi Alex and the Williams still lining it up, has a little look inside, heading into turn 11. Ultimately nothing doing though. Still a little while for this medium stops, you would think. Alex, of course, again also with double points in this race for SF1L. So he's going to look to try and get this race lead. The win potentially on the cards, we will see. He's got the DRS, but holding back on the battery, actually holding a lot back. He's down up at 70%, and you sense that these guys at the front, they're not really racing each other as such, and you'd think that Sebi Alex on the mediums would benefit from getting the move done. RT Mick dives in to the pit lane, barely gets it slowed down, was very late on the brakes. He manages to get in, and we'll see how these strategies are going to unfold. Charlie Harris, that unfortunate lag spike is setting back. Now he's going to get the run on J. Cole and through, but that is a time loss that he really didn't need.
Yeah, it was only a couple of tenths of a second, but that couple of tenths can spawn you to lose that position, and that's exactly what Charlie Harris has done. But that time, clean overtake in towards turn 1. Job done. He's doing his into 9th position. J. Cole and Jerry Zock as well, chasing them down as well. Jerry Zock, by the way, Zock meaning searched in English, which is unbelievable. I searched that up on Google just for a bit of fun fact. Jerry Zock though in 11th, J. Cole in 10th, Charlie Harris there in 9th, Sebi Alex though applying a lot of pressure to Montana. Are we going to see the move maybe in towards turn 2? No, we're not, because Montana has got a little bit of DRS from his good friend Old School, and that is a little bit of bit controversy that we've seen in LOE this season, just put it that way, with the DRS being enabled from the leader. Montana now in the lead of the race. Is he going to dive into the pit lane? No. Sebi Alex right on the back. But I think I agree with you on your last point on the last lap there. Sebi Alex is now going to try the move, because Old School's out the way. Sebi Alex now surely is going to apply the pressure. And if you were in his shoes, Dan, Sebi Alex, I think, has got to go for this move sooner rather than later and just try and exploit those cards a little bit too more.
Should have done this earlier. He's got 80% ERS. There's plenty of pace, and he's got plenty of resources to get this move done as he goes for Verstappen and AJ battling it out there, and it may be the Alfa Romeo that comes out on top. They nearly touch, hitting through turn 5. He has to back out of it then, as that's a very, very nasty bit of the track to potentially go save back to Ecos Verstappen eventually. Just having to get out of that one, and now he's got Matos with the run.
Oh my God!
Into the wall. So he turned out of the corner and ultimately did not expect the wall to come up on him that quickly. So Matos, a bit of a bizarre mistake on the overtaking attempt, is ultimately going to have to give that one up. It's AJ though that's holding these guys back. Ecos Verstappen may look to try and counter-attack. Doesn't look like it's going to come though, and these guys will all have to set in line, as Sebi Alex still sitting there with 80% ERS, and Montana has been allowed, I know he's good, but he should not have been allowed to run this entire first stint at the front on hards. He's still maintaining the lead. Will we see any pit stops at the front? Yep. Montana is going to come in, and this has worked out like a dream for him.
It has, and he's going to be probably around Charlie Harris, Jerry Zock, that sort of area, I think, coming out, probably even ahead of those guys when he comes out the pit lane. So the Swiss man is in, the 4-time LOE Division 1 champion is also into the pit lane, and he is onto that set of medium compounder tyres, and he will go, of course, around 11-12 laps, and then go, of course, onto that set of soft compounder tyres if he wants to, towards the end of the race. This is going to be close, though, because Charlie Harris is coming down the straight. Montana, though, well ahead. Remember, though, with that Charlie Harris overspeed, he will catch on this lap, but it's not going to be enough. He's not even going to be in DRS range at the end.
To the wall, and that's a reset to track heading out of turn 1. That's just coming out of the pit lane there. He recovers, and the end is Leclerc blocks has gone into the wall as well after going for that undercut. So a few mistakes starting to creep in back to back here, as things may start to get a bit scrappy. Ecos Verstappen is looking at AJ still heading up towards turn 9, doesn't get the move done yet, but we've seen a few mistakes down there at turn 1. He'll have another chance there with the third DRS zone, and AJ's not going to fight this one, I don't think. Through it goes Ecos Verstappen to P3 on the road. Montana, it's going to be interesting to see if that tyre warm-up on the mediums is going to hurt him, or if he's going to use that undercut to good effect. Sebi Alex and Menno, those guys running nicely up the front. They're going to split strategies. Sebi Alex is going to come in very aggressive on the pit entry, and of course, chasing a potential race win. We'll see where he comes out relative to NSX Montana, then hitting a lap later. We'll see how these strategies are going to unwind.
Yeah, definitely. So Montana is coming around the final couple of corners through turn number 15, and Sebi Alex is coming toward the end of his pit stop. This is going to be quite close, actually, on the exit. I think it's going to favour more Montana than Sebi Alex, but this is going to be extraordinarily close in towards turn number 1. They're going to come out side by side through turn number 1, and Sebi Alex nearly forcing Montana off track, but Montana, just with that overspeed, just with the traction. In fact, actually, I think he's had to give up the position an illegal overtake, I think, there for Montana, and Sebi Alex is back through. Either that, or it's tactical, and if it's tactical, I like what he's planning, because he can just sit, wait him behind, let Sebi Alex drag him along, pull away from Charlie Harris, and then it's game on, really, between these two, it seems, for the race win. Also, by the way, Coronel Mason's done an undercut on Matos. He's now ahead of him. Cole Paradox still yet to come in the pit lane as well. But Montana now, right on the back of Sebi Alex once again. Either that was tactical, Dan, or that was just pure instinct for Montana and wanted to try, and was, as I say, an illegal overtake.
I think he did go off the track very briefly. It was hard to tell. But right now he does seem somewhat content to sit in behind Charlie Harris, is shadowing these guys. Ultimately, without that lag spike with Jaco, you'd imagine he'd be in that fight. So you say it can just be a few tenths of a second, but those few tenths of a second matters. Equals Verstappen speeds into the pit lane. We've seen quite a few of those incidents taking space. He's gone for the softs, interestingly enough, so we'll try and recover on this stint. Sebi Alex dragging Montana along. Montana using some of that battery. You can see coming out of the pit lane there, it's going to be Menno. He's going to emerge just behind these guys. Montana used a bit of ARS as a bit of an insurance policy, I think, to make sure he was still in front. And he's going to attack Sebi Alex here up towards turn 3. So he goes to the outside. Does Montana very, very late on the brakes. Can he get it stopped and turned in? He can indeed. And they're going to be level when he get a turn 4. But Montana gets the upper hand and through. I think that tells you it was an illegal overtake. He intends to lead this race from the front, and he's done that. And Sebi Alex, well, he covered the inside, but ultimately just had no answer for Montana's late braking. Gets around the outside, and I think Sebi Alex there with plenty of battery, it's going to be his turn to tuck in, which so far he's been very happy to do. Charlie Harris now gets the move done, and with older tyres against the guy who's warming up his tyres, that's a good little move to get underway quickly, and Menno will look to try and counter-attack as soon as possible.
I think he'll probably counter-attacking towards turn number 10 because now Menno right on the back of Charlie Harris turns off the ERS though, might have to go for the overtake anyways because of the overspeed to the inside line through turn number 11. Charlie Harris leaves him absolutely zero room whatsoever. Menno, to be fair, was coming from an absolute mile back. That might go down if it's reported as a racing incident, but Charlie Harris comes out on top. He's still there in fourth, still there on those warmer tyres as well. He's going to be around 15-20% worse off than Menno at this stage. Australia really does take the medium compound tyres out on you, especially if you go into a set of softs later on, and that is what I think we're seeing with J. Cole into the pit lane. He might go into a set of hard compound tyres potentially in this strategy, but AJ still leads the way. Montana there in second, Sebi Alex there in third, Charlie Harris in fourth as Falter. Brendan has left the session. Hopefully we can get him back in. Verstappen though, B-Tech Verstappen, competitive Verstappen we're going to be commentating on in around about half an hour's time. The Ecos man there in seventh on that sort of soft compound tyres, doing very well, and now he is searching on the back of Jerry's off.
Oh, you didn't have to turn dirty like that, James. Wow, that B-Tech Verstappen, how about that?
He's going to prove me wrong now.
Well, here he goes. He's listened to you, and he's going to get that move done nice and easy, heading through the middle sector up towards turn number 9. So he does get that move done nicely and manages to just about nick some DRS off Menno, I think, to carry on that momentum. Menno, he's a bit further back from Charlie Harris. I don't think the move's going to come this time out. And what Charlie Harris has done now on these older tyres is allow the top two to completely distance themselves from everyone else. Montana and Sebi Alex, those two are fairly comfortably clear now as Charlie Harris runs fractionally wide there out of turn 12 and gets a penalty for his troubles. So maybe struggling a little bit out there at the moment, still running on what will become an FP3, but I think that Menno is going to look to do something about that. Then on the double with DRS, he's going to get that move done, heading into turn 1, and it's going to be a nice, easy, late braking move. Slots down the inside. Charlie Harris will try and fight back, but he won't have the DRS. He's still using that overtake. He's not giving this one up. Tucked in the slipstream there, but enough overspeed from Menno is going to secure that place. He covers the middle of the track heading into turn 3, gets it done, and now he got Verstappen just touching the back of Charlie Harris. He'll try and get through, and of course he's on his Velinark after your comments earlier, so he's going to look to get this move done as well, continue to move through the field on those softs. Yeah,
B-Tech Verstappen becoming A-level Verstappen, I think, at this. Verstappen on the back of Charlie Harris running round the right-hander of turn number 6 and 7. Again, a little bit of a lag spike there from Charlie, just brings Verstappen a bit closer. Here comes though VSR Smokey around the inside of turn number 8. try to get the job done down the straight, and he has got the job done. He smoked them in towards turn number 9. Smokey through, and he's into 7th position. That was going to come out anytime, anywhere on this live stream. Smokey now coming through the right-hander of turn number 10. Job done. Of course, he was running up to Otis Lawrence, if you didn't know, in WR Season 13 in the Xbox here. And Smokey now, with 0 practice, to be fair, he did really well last time out in Miami, last race. And Smokey now beginning to try and latch onto the back. And looking at his pace, he looks so much quicker compared to Verstappen and Charlie Harris. Verstappen obviously taking those softs out of play, and Smokey now is beginning to get back into play here. And AJ, by the way, into the pit lane as well. He's for a set of soft compound tyres. He's coming out well behind, I think actually in the gap between himself and Matos. So Jerry and Matos there, he's in the middle of that gap. Montana though still leads, Sebi Alex in second, Menno in third, Verstappen now settling down on the back of Charlie Harris. Both, however, though, Dan, with a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, and again, for the second lap in a row, Verstappen has just nudged Charlie Harris heading through turn 4. Charlie made a bit of an error heading through turn 3 and now has lost that DRS to Menno. So now things are really going to open up. Verstappen may look to try and get things going quickly. Smokey, as you mentioned, he's coming from right down the back of the field. So what a charge it has been from him. And to say he is not out of the question of a podium at this stage in the race. We'll see how things are going to unfold then. Charlie Harris biding his time as Leclerc's gone round again further down the field. That is heading out of turn 6. So a couple of mistakes then in what has been a frustrating race for Leclerc. Verstappen again hitting the back of Charlie Harris, and this time the Red Bull has got a lot of lag there as now Smokey is going to go looking ready outside of turn 12. No space there, but he's certainly on the hunt as these guys all concertina together heading through the final corners of the track. I think Charlie Harris may well get bailed out here from some DRS. So for the second time in this race, the DRS provider is just that AI car of old school, and he has saved Charlie Harris from Verstappen and Smokey. Jerry in there behind as well. So Charlie Harris is holding these guys up on all the tyres with some old school help. Verstappen to the inside, heading into turn 3, and this time he's going to get the move done, no problems.
Yeah, good job there from Verstappen. Actually had to overcome that old school on the outside line in towards turn number 3, in toward Whitfield corner. Verstappen, though, making him now look like the real Verstappen, I've got to say. He's up into 4th position. We've gone from BTEC to A-level to GCSE level, I think, within about 3 laps. But still, Smokey on the back of Charlie Harris is now looking to come from an absolute mile back to the inside line of turn number 9. Not going to try and get the job done then. Charlie Harris, to be fair, is closing up right on the back of Verstappen. Thought there was going to be 3 wide potentially in towards the chicane. That was going to be wishful thinking from all of them. And now Charlie Harris again on the back of Verstappen, and he's going to breeze on by and might actually let Smokey on the way through as well. And actually Charlie Harris blocks the inside line through turn number 11, gets the job done, fair and clean move that, and now lets Smokey in for this battle. This is, by the way, for a net P4 out on track as well. Jerry Zocht and AJ in this battle. 5-second penalty, by the way, for Verstappen for speed in the pits. 3 seconds for Charlie Harris, and then the most positions gained at the minute. Well, it's that man there, Smokey, 11 positions gained. AJ now getting the move done on Jerry down in towards turn number 1, and that is the job done for him in towards turn number 1. And now what happens? Because the Alfa Romeos are going to be in the same battle. They're not, of course, teammates out on track because it's a team event. Charlie Harris, though, pulling away from Verstappen. He's still in 4th. Verstappen there in 5th, and Smokey there in 6th position. And Smokey, if he can get ahead of Verstappen and Charlie Harris, he is going to be closing in on Menno and on Sebi and Montana very quickly indeed.
Keep going, James. I'm trying to invite Forza Bread into the lobby, so...
That is fine. That is fine. He sent me a message as well. It's fine. AJ has picked up a 3-second penalty for corner cut through turn number 6. And Verstappen now on the back of Charlie Harris once again, just trying to stay in play. And Smokey's coming around the outside of both of them potentially in towards the right hand. And now turn number 11, turn number 9, then in towards turn number 10 through the chicane. He's got 1, and now he loses both positions. Smokey has gone off on the grass and now loses 3 positions. To Verstappen, to AJ as well, who's actually attacking Verstappen around the outside of turn number 11, tries to get the job done. Just about hangs on in there, coming to a Ascari corner, now through cross at turn number 12, and that's a beautiful move by AJ, round the outside of Verstappen, gets the job done. Smokey, though, got caught on the grass. He just had a big snap, basically, coming on the curb of turn number 9. Jerry's in the pit lane now as well, just ahead, and Smokey now all of that ground he now has to try and gain back. It is still a very good drive from him, gaining those 10 positions, of course, out on track. We haven't been on board for the leaders for a while, because nothing's really happened for the leaders. Montana leading the way from Sebi Alex in second, Menel there in third, and they've pulled away about 4 seconds now to Menel there in third. Charlie Harris in fourth, and AJ again on the back. He's on that sort of soft compound tyres, and Dan, Alfa Romeo against Red Bull. This could be quite interesting, especially if we've got the Red Bull Esports guys back in.
Yes, certainly. I'm just going to very, very quickly get things sorted with the invites, and I should be back. But yeah, this has been a very exciting race so far. This battle for the net P3 is, well, it's been exceptionally entertaining. I don't know why I still can't see his name. Maybe I'll just have to completely refresh it. I'm having the same issues you were having earlier on then, as it turns out. So yes, still, well, AJ has done a fantastic job of working his way through these guys, and now lining up Charlie Harris, diving tearingly down the inside. Oh, what a move! You can see that one off. Charlie Harris trying to switch back underneath.
Beautiful.
Can't quite see it through. AJ, that may be one of the overtakes of the event so far. What a lunge, late on the brakes, daring as I say, and in the end he gets the move done, and he's cleared that entire train.
He has indeed, and now Verstappen's on the back of Charlie Harris, running side by side down the straight. This should be easy for the Ferrari to the inside line. The Red Bull, where we've seen this before in Australia. Verstappen just saves it down the inside line, gets the job done. He is done. He's into P5. Charlie Harris there in second. Now Smokey again on the back. Charlie Harris has got the bird's eye view though, trying to go around the outside Whitfield corner, and Verstappen makes contact with him. I think Charlie Harris was just leaning to the right hand side slightly. Verstappen makes contact with the side pod. Luckily no damage. Also Brendan, by the way, has rejoined the session, which is good. Montana though leads the way. Sebi Alex in second, Menno in third. 87 of you, by the way. One of them is me. So 86 of you tuning into the stream as Smokey has just picked up a 30-second penalty for the same corner cut as what Verstappen did a couple of laps ago, or what AJ did, I should say, a couple of laps ago. But Montana leads, Sebi Alex in second, Menno in third, and still Charlie Harris around the outside of Verstappen, and he makes a little bit of contact. You get as good as you're given between them both. The Red Bull and the Ferrari really don't like each other, and the Ferrari's round.
Yeah, just dropping it, heading off turn 10. That's going to be damage, and well, a slightly bad-tempered battle with Charlie Harris on both ends eventually comes to an end. What great entertainment that was.
Montana in.
Montana comes in from the lead. And I think with this surely he's not going to take softs the way he may. We'll see what the strategy is going to be. Sebi Alex continuing on. Montana looking to grab that undercut. It is going to be instead of mediums. Sebi Alex, is he going to follow that a lap later, or is he going to try and split those strategies?
I think he'll probably come in a lap later. He's got to try and counteract, obviously. They don't want to waste the gap, because I think it was about a 4-second gap as Montana, by the way, is side-by-side with Gary, his teammate from LOE, side-by-side with him, down in towards turn number 3. Is it going to be a gentleman's agreement? Of course there is, between the Irishman and the Swissman, and Montana's let go by Gary. Of course, they want to construct this title together this season in LOE Division 1, and that, I think, proves to be the real decider in that battle, because Montana was ahead of Gary, and Gary does not want to fight his causes. Now Smokey on the back of Charlie Harris, running through now the right-hander of turn number 7, and look at the speed he has got. Smokey absolutely breezes past Charlie Harris down the straight in towards turn number 9 of the chicane, and Smokey is through, and he's into 4th, and Charlie Harris there is into 5th. But what is Sebi Alex now going to do out on track? What is he going to do? Is he going to react to Montana? You surely got to, especially because he nearly got held up there by Gary. Sebi Alex doesn't respond. He comes in. He doesn't come in this lap around. So therefore, he's trying to extend that stint. That can only mean set us off to the end.
You're on my wavelength, James Head. That is exactly what I was thinking. Sebi Alex is looking to extend. The question is, how much time can Montana gain in these crucial next few laps? So it's a battle of pace and a battle of will at the moment. We've seen how closely matched these two have been as well so far throughout this Australian Grand Prix. But it's crucial laps for the pair of them to try and establish themselves. Of course, this track much easier now to overtake at than it ever has been in the past. So you can see how that is going to unfold further down the line. Sebi Alex, you'd imagine, will have to come from behind here. He is finally starting to burn some battery. Montana, on the other hand, saving his on his outlaps. So Sebi Alex is intending to at least be close to Montana, or as close as possible, and try and use that tyre advantage, even if he's got a bit of a battery disadvantage. We'll see how this unfolds, but Sebi Alex now pushing hard out there. With the way he's burning that battery, though, suggests he might be coming in on this lap.
Yeah, definitely so. I was on board with the wrong person there. I was riding on board with Old School, who I thought was in front of the lead, but he's not. He's down in 18th position, still doing a good job and still going and still picking up points. He hasn't been lapped, I don't think, though, Alan Track either. Sebi Alex, though, is he in the pit lane? No, he's not. He stays out again this lap around. Menno is not into the pit lane either, so these guys are now committing to that sort of soft compound tyre a little bit later on. Of course, they've got to make that two-stop. Smokey, however, is in. So Smokey is into the pit lane. Obviously not going to be close to Montana. I wish, honestly, we'd got a Smokey and Montana battle. That's what I was leading up in towards tonight, to be honest. But Smokey is into the pit lane. Of course, he's sort of well down the field. He's going to be going on, and the first one on to that set of soft compound tyres. Mick is into the pit lane there as well. I'd imagine that'll be for a set of soft compound tyres. They're on the pit stops, by the way. That's the gap to the leader as well that I've came up. 16.3 seconds. Take a mental note of that. A 16.3 second gap between Montana and Sebi Alex. At the moment, the gap is not really coming down, as Smokey has now got Jerry Zuck to try and deal with in towards Whitfield corner at turn number 3. And he comes from an absolute mile back down the inside line, down to Ricardo S. Doesn't get the job done. Goodness me. Oh, honestly, I thought he was going to be suiciding down the inside line. An absolute dive bomb from Jerry. Doesn't get the job done. Smokey there in 8th and Jerry there in 9th, and just about no contact made.
I have to say, as Jerry picks up a penalty right after that, Smokey, amazing awareness to turn out of the corner slightly, because the move was not on in the slightest, and they still made contact, but I think ultimately Smokey turning out of the corner did just about stop Jerry from spinning entirely, so he can thank the other man in that scrap for still being in that battle. Sebi Alex has continued on another lap, as has Menno. Those guys are looking to extend to a very short soft stint. So they're putting everything on the line here. Once I said, of course, everyone, I'm sure you guys know, but everyone has to make 2 stops. And, well, we've got a litany of cars now diving in. AJ, Matos, Charlie Harris, and Gary. You'd imagine it's going to be the softs for all of those guys trying to finish the race strong with as much pace as possible. Gap between the two leaders, you mentioned 16.3 seconds. It's coming down at a good rate of knots now, it must be said. Montana has found some pace. And Sebi Alex, maybe, just maybe, he's left this a bit too late. We will see his little box has gone off for about the 4th time in this race. So not his day at all. Dropping right down the order. I said we're fortunate in those two. Nearly come together. Heading through turn 12. Just about managing to stay out of each other's way. Smokey comes out just in front of AJ. AJ with slightly fresher tyres will try and strike back. We'll see how that scrap further down the order is going to unfold. Sebi Alex and Menno still staying out there. The pit stops, you'd imagine, have to be this lap because they've left it so late and will get enough laps left in the race to make up for it.
I think they will. Sebi Alex is going to be well ahead coming out the pit lane. Here he comes into the pit lane. The Williams in. Woody speed into the pit lane. That's what he's going to do. Get the car stopped under 37 mile an hour around here. And Sebi Alex is into the pit lane. So is Menno. They both respond. What is the gap going to be between Montana and Sebi Alex? I think it's going to be around 3 seconds coming out the pit lane. Judging by my calculations, Sebi Alex is out of the pit box. Montana is already past him. Left-hand side of your screen. In fact, he actually breezed on the right-hand side of your screen. Well, he was on the right-hand side of your screen, but he's there. He's miles ahead. Nearly 3 seconds already coming out the pit lane, so pretty much around spot on. But now, Sebi Alex, those soft compound tyres are going to be so much quicker than Montana on that set of mediums. He's got around about a 20% gap, I think, in terms of tyre wear to play with. And if Sebi Alex can warm up his tyres immediately, he's going to be on the back of Montana like a very much hot rash. Menno there in 3rd. He's going to be under pressure from Smokey as well. And Smokey, by the way, earlier on, down the field, of course, in this race, P17. DNF'd in terms of one-shot qualifying, up to 4th position. This man was runner-up, as I say, to Otis Lawrence. This man is very special indeed. Watch out for him going forward. Not in this race, certainly in the future, though.
Yeah, and he's, well, at the very least, he has P4. Granted, he doesn't get any more.
Charlie Harris!
It's Charlie Harris is going to go round the outside.
Beautiful.
To turn 9, gets the move done. That is brave stuff from Charlie Harris. He has been in the wars tonight, let me tell you. Gets the move done on Jerry on those fresh softs, trying to make the most of that pace, and he's looking to gap Matos in particular, who doesn't have a penalty to his name, but is within 3 seconds. Matos, though, is going to have to contend with Jerry as well further up the road. Sebi Alex has already taken about half a second, if not more, out of that gap to Montana, and of course he had to warm up the tyres on that first lap. This, you'd imagine, would be his best lap to chase down that gap. times, I think he will be there by the end of the race, but Montana has more battery, and I don't know if there's a harder man to overtake in league racing than NSX Montana, so we'll see how this unfolds.
Yeah, ABS Montana as well, otherwise known to the Relentless Boys, of course. Montana leads the way. 2.2 seconds already, though. 0.3 of a second taken out. Another 1/10 of a second just through that corner alone. Sebi Alex now has got to fly as if his life depends on it if he wants this race win, of course, here in Australia. It seems like it's going to come down to NSX and to SF1L, which is going to be really interesting indeed, because I believe both of them have not picked up a win so far here tonight. So we're going to get a new winner, of course, on the event leaderboard. Montana leads the way, 2 seconds now the gap. Falstian, by the way, is wanting to show the stops. I can indeed show the stops for you. Everyone, I can report, has made a 2-stop. If you're Little Blocks, you've made 3 stops because he picked up damage, of course, a little bit early on in the race. So everyone's done their mandatory 2-stop. Little Blocks, in fact, has just got past on Cold Paradox. They're having their own private battle further down the field for Wooden Spoon. Oh, not the Wooden Spoon, because that's confirmed to Old School at this stage. Little Blocks there at 16, Cold Paradox there in 17, but still the gap to the lead, 19.4 there from Sebi Alex, 1.6 seconds. It's going to be close enough, but he's not really gaining the time that I imagined that he would be gaining. I thought it would be 8/10 a lap. He's not getting anywhere near that. Sebi Alex, at the moment, has got Montana ahead of him. Montana hasn't used up any ERS. Sebi Alex has. That is going to be the deciding factor, I think.
We'll see. Montana nearly 30% advantage in that regard, and Sebi Alex, well, he's going to want to have that DRS for as long as possible to give himself the chance, so that's why he's throwing everything into this chase already. The gap is down to 1.1. I think he's just going to miss it on this straight. I think he will get it for the first time on the main straight, heading on to lap 27. That's going to be the first time he will have that rear wing open, but the tyres, well, they're going to be quickly falling past their best. Montana's are older though, so we'll see how that dynamic is going to shake up. At the moment, that gap just hovering right over a second. Montana, he doesn't look to be too concerned with keeping Sebi Alex out of range. I think he knows that it's inevitable that the SF1L driver is going to end up within that DRS range, within that 1 second, as he now is. So here we go. We're going to get the scrap. It's going to be 3 laps between Montana. A backslide heading to the final corner. Holds on to it, but it's nervy. It's tense. And now it's mano a mano up at the front. Montana has the ERS and the track possession. Sebi, has the DRS and the tyre advantage, so, well, advantages you'd imagine will cancel each other out, and now they're going to go to war. 3-lap Joe for the win, but Sebi Alex looks good pace-wise. The question is, can he get past that Haas, which you imagine is going to be very, very wide in front of him?
To be honest, he was out of DRS range last time around, and the thing that caught me, Montana was quicker in a straight line compared to Sebi Alex, even without DRS. So is that DRS now going to come into effect for Sebi Alex? There's 2.5 laps to go here in Australia. Of course, China with myself and Jess Ball to come after this one, but Montana leads the way here in Australia from Sebi Alex in second. They're miles clear of medal. You can forget about the rest at this stage. It's only between these two, and now Sebi Alex sets his sights on Montana. He has to play this, though, completely cautiously, I think. He needs to go as late as possible. If I was in his shoes, I'd be going as late as possible. Try and put Montana under some sort of mistake. Montana is normally unbreakable, but Sebi Alex might be the one to break him as he tries to go for the Opmia move down in towards turn 13. Didn't quite pull off the move there. In towards turn 14. Hassling all over the back through turn 15, and now Sebi Alex sets his sights on Montana in towards turn 1. Again, not using up that ERS, not getting that DRS enabled either. And Montana leads the way from Sebi Alex in second, very close to the back of him in towards turn number 1.
Wow, this is tense. You can see they both deployed some of that battery down the straight, but if Montana can match the move every single time, he's going to have more battery to use. So Sebi Alex, I think, is going to have to surprise him or throw everything at just one move. Montana has enough battery to defend all the way to the end of the race, so it's going to take something special for SFF1 Sebi Alex to find that way through. We will see. Team NSX, Montana, they haven't had the greatest of starts to this event. Montana trying to fly the flag for them then with a lap and a half to go. 38% battery for Sebi Alex. Montana just over 50%. He has that edge, but he's used a little bit more now that he's focused on defense. The two of them skipping over the chicane. They're pushing to the absolute limit here. Sebi Alex, though, he isn't close enough to really threaten Montana. Montana doesn't have to deploy the battery to defend. It's going to be pretty much now or nothing heading on to the final lap. He'll have 2 DRS zones back to back. That could be his chance. Can he get through there? We're coming up to the final lap now. Montana from Sebi Alex. Sebi Alex so close. He may still lovely grip, but can he get the move done, James?
I think he would have got the move done if it wasn't for that shoddy exit coming out the final corner, and now he's on the back foot because Montana sails that down in towards turn 1, uses that extra bit of ERS, and now Sebi has got to react. His set of softs are now going to completely come into play. He had 2 opportunities there, didn't get both of them because of that same DRS zone being shared, couldn't get close enough to the back of Montana, and that now the next chance is to probably turn number 9, but more likely turn number 11. The right-hander coming through Ascari, not to be confused, of course, with the Ascari corner in Italy. But Montana leads the way from Sebi Alex in second. Sebi still applying a load of pressure to the back of Montana. But as I said earlier on, Montana is unbreakable. Apart from, he's running less fuel than Sebi Alex. That could be a factor towards the end of this race as well. As Sebi now comes in towards turn number 9, right on the back of Montana. It's 2.5 tenths. Coming through the chicane, much quicker than Sebi Alex, skips over the curb, and now this is his chance. This is his good bid for glory. Sebi Alex now on the back of Montana, round the outside and towards turn 11. Montana defends for his life and still holds the lead of the race. Sebi Alex, a bit of a switch, a bit of a twitch there, coming out of turn 11, through the right hand of 12, through the left hand of 13. I think Montana's got this under control. He goes a bit deep there, Sebi Alex in toward the final corners, and now Montana through turn number 15. He's weathered the storm. He has weathered Sebi Alex, and this one, it's Renasex Mad. Montana takes the win from Sebi Alex in second. They're a class above the rest. Menno there is going to finish there in third. To be honest, no disgrace at all to Menno. He just couldn't keep up. Smokey there in the end is fourth. AJ there in fifth with more penalties. Charlie Harris is getting caught by Matos all the way to the line as well. And Matos in the end picks up P5 and jumps ahead of AJ in that. Jerry's up to the line in 8th. Gary is going to pick up points for QVR there in 9th. ESW with their best result as well, with Colonel Mason there in 10th. Mick there across the line in 11th, with J. Call around the final corner into the line, and he will finish there in P12. At least he actually managed to finish the race compared to Canada, I think it was, where he raced a little bit early on. B-Tech Verstappen coming around the final corner to finish there in P13. He was up there. He obviously had a spin, and obviously with that 5-second penalty, he's down there at the back of the field. Michelizzi there finishing in 14th, but still going, by the way. I think that's Forza Brendan now coming to the line to finish in 15th, now ahead of Michelizzi. Little Blocks and Cole Paradox is 16th and 17th there as well. Little Blocks in the end 16th. Cole Paradox there in 17th. And Old School, well, I think he's either crashed coming through the final couple of corners, or he's just having a bit of fun, I think. Probably the latter, as he now comes to the line and finishes there in P18, reversing across the line there, crashing his way across the line as well. But that is the Australian Grand Prix. What a race that was. Probably the most tensest battle we've seen, certainly in events so far. VSR Smokey, I think, deservingly gets driver of the day from qualifying down in 17th all the way up to 4th in the end. Did a very good job. But that man there, unbreakable in the end. NSX Montana, that one is for you, Mads. He takes the race win.
Yeah, and, well, he had to work for it. That was a great duel between the two of them. Right down to the line, I have to say, Sebi Alex's run through the chicane on the last lap was picture perfect, and that gave him the chance, but Montana placed his car perfectly. No way through in the end for the Swede. In the end, he does have to settle for second, but a good day's work for both of those guys. Menno for Hamburger taking that final podium slot, and I still think they will retain the lead in the overall standings as well. But yeah, that was, compared to Miami, for the two races I've commentated, this one was certainly more entertaining. And a great fight for the lead, but also battling in behind. We see, just look at the standing, you can see a load of drivers finishing within just a couple of seconds of each other, and it was closer than that in that midfield. That battle for P3, P4 in the end was very exciting, and overall, Australia has delivered. Australia
always delivers on this game, Dan. Montana takes the win from Sebi Alex in second. Another lap, would have it been different? I don't know. Menno there in third, with Smokey there in fourth. Matos there in 5th, AJ in 6th, Charlie Harris 7th, Jerry Zock in 8th, Gary in 9th, Colonel Mason in 10th, Mick in 11th, J. Cole 12th, Verstappen 13th, Forza Brennan 14th, Michelizzi 15th, Cole Paradox in 16th, Little Blocks in 17th. Old School actually managed to outscore Rocco Reggie for real, who DNF'd a little bit earlier on in the race. Old School there at 18th, getting one over, I've got to say, there on the Brit, and the Brit will certainly not be happy with that. Down there in P19, we are only apparently waiting for us. We're catching up a lot of time in terms of Lobby 7. Lobby 7 is already ready. I just need to be given a friend request. Jess has just sent me that friend request there now. So we are going to take it to a break, and obviously once we get everything sorted, We're going to be back live in just a couple of minutes, so stay tuned for the 24 hours of F1, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Now, there we are. Ah, here we go. He's messaging. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. Oh, welcome back, everyone. There we go. Now we're on the lobby screen. Welcome back, everyone, to the 24 Hours of F1 event. We are here tonight, of course, for my second and last commentary of tonight, and that is, of course, the Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai. Luckily, I know a bit about this track because I've commentated around here before. Joining me in the commentary box for this one, though, is PSGL F1 lead commentator. It's Miss Jessica Ball. Jess, how you doing?
I'm doing very, very well, thanks, James. This is my, I think, fourth stint in the commentary box tonight. Should be a lot of fun, this one. We got some very quick drivers in this lobby, and we've also got some drivers who we could bring out a few surprises. So I'm very, very, very excited. And the team that's going to be starting last is Team Hamburger of Jan Trepkov. So yeah, we'll see what he could do starting at the back. No double pointers and no 3-second reductions this one. So it's just the guy that's starting last. That is the wild card for today. I'm not really that surprised, to be honest. Not many people like China. I like China to commentate it, but I hate racing it, so...
Honestly, I love commentating around here in China. Always produces good action. I know QVR Nathan would have been quite good around here. I know Verstappen, though, did do a very good performance in China a couple of seasons ago in LOE, so he's one to watch out for. Is that, of course, in for Relentless, going to be a one to watch out for? But, of course, a real poignant win, I think, last time out for NSX Montana, for the NSX team as well. Their first win. They've got Macho on this, Jess. How are we going to perceive this one-shot qualifying session to go? As I think we're just waiting on Will to ready up.
Well, I think we saw it quite close in the last few sessions as well, but we've seen in some races that for some drivers one-shot qualifying doesn't even matter because they get involved in incidents anyway, but I hope they have learned from the last few races that they can't afford to lose it and go full for it in that one, because that's not how the race is won. So, and I've just been informed by Will that his game's broken.
Oh no.
So yeah, that's not good.
Is there any way for him to leave as well?
He's on PC.
He's on PC. Oh, he's going to have to close his Steam application and everything down.
Yep.
Oh, this is going to be a right headache, I think. But welcome, everyone. Well, while we wait
welcome
for Will...
to Crossplay!
Welcome to Crossplay. Welcome to Crossplay. It's caused us a lot of issues. Just about as when we were getting back on track in terms of the time and everything was going absolutely smooth, this comes into our midst once again. But to run through the donations currently out on the Just Giving pages, of course, in the description on Twitch, there are 2 logos that you can click on to donate to both charities. Of course, British Heart Foundation, remembering, of course, NSX Mads, who sadly passed away from a heart attack around about a year ago today, to this day, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It was certainly a year anniversary when I covered it a couple of weeks ago. And, of course, Vadim Shvetkov as well, who has obviously passed away from brain cancer. Lived alone with it, sadly, as well. Only told his closest friends. And, of course, every single penny that you give to our charities, of course, to British Heart Foundation, will go into their research, hopefully to further research heart attacks and the surroundings of that, and also to further research in brain cancer as well. Currently, as the donations stand in front of my eyes, certainly it might have changed since I last updated, 58% of our donation target of 1,000 being reached for the British Heart Foundation, £590 in total. Felix being the remembering the recent one, £7 donation from him. Great racing for great causes, remembering our friend Mads these 24 hours. This race goes to show the kindness of the F1 League racing community, which makes me proud. Good luck to all competing. And isn't that just a really nice message? I think just to put into perspective what we are all here for. It might get competitive. Yes, we might get aggressive battles as well out on track. But all of this is done for charity. All of this is done, of course, in the name of Mads and for Vadim as well, for the Brain Cancer Foundation, which I will go and have a look at the donations for in a second. However, though, we're going in towards one-shot qualifying, which should be quite exciting. And just to save my voice for certainly the 28 minutes that's going on, take us through the lap with Jan Trepkov, who's actually not going to be competing in this.
No, he's not. I'll go ball with the Red Bull of Isaacus, who is in last place at the moment as he heads towards the heavy braking zone of turn 2, 3 and 4, while we could see quite a few issues, I think, going into this lap 1 at least as well. Heading towards turn 4 and 5 as well. We can see quite a few people going side by side as they head through the run into turn 6 in the 2018 season. We saw Ricciardo make the move there as well. So traction out of turn 3 and 4 is crucial through here. Heading now towards turn 7, 8, and 9. Some people can take it flat, but do not take it flat, because I found out because it will get rolled into a little bit of a spin, unfortunately. Now heading towards, I need to get my track up, map the money. Hold on. We are on turn 11 now on the left-hand curve as well. He's currently sitting in P1 at the moment for his team. He's purple sector 2, looking dandy at the moment. It's looking very comfortable at the moment. In heading past turn 13, heading down this back straight here. DRS activated. He activated that quite quickly, didn't they? Going up to speeds at 200 miles per hour plus. We'll see. I think it's around about 202 height top speed miles per hour at least as he heads towards turn 14 and 15. And then you're going to be heading towards the final corner, 100 metre braking zone into turn 60. And he's going to finish his lap in P1 with a 1 minute 32.303 with Samba in P2, not that far behind him.
Not that far behind him, indeed. Matcha there in third as well. Only 500ths of a second covering the top 3. A bit closer than what we had in Australia, where I think it was 700ths of a second covering the top 3, which was very good indeed. Of course, get your support in, of course, for in the chat. 90 people currently watching. One of them is me. So 89 people watching at this stage. Is the word on top.
88.
88. We're dropping. It's our commentary.
No, one of them's me.
Yeah, tune out. Well, don't tune out. Just tune in. Bring everyone with you. Izzet takes the win though here in one-shot qualifying. Nathan Samba there in second for ERT. NSX Macho there in third with Miami there in fourth. Cortez, his good old long friend and rival from the F2 days in LOE, is in fifth. Verstappen there in sixth. Ginger there in seventh. Griff there in eighth. Tails there in ninth. And Max ran up the top 10. Will Lewis did manage to set a lap, by the way, down in 11th position. Energetics in 12th from Baby there in 13th. Z3 set in 14th. Felipe 15th. Crazy Bird 16th. Ivor Bryn Mike down there in 17th. Real DC in 18th. Young Tripcore, of course, not starting at the back of the field, even though we got disqualified from the session. That means NLR Dylan is starting at the back of the field for the NLR team. JD Nolan there, by the way, in the chat saying big bottle on the last corner. Yeah, big bottle indeed. But is that out on top? And Jess, we've only got moments to go until the Chinese Grand Prix. How do you see this one panning out?
And I expect to see some close battles, I think, between the front guys as well, especially between Isa and Samba. I think that's going to get very competitive indeed. I'm trying to get Will into this lobby, by the way. So I've just sent him an invite, so hopefully we should all be good with Will, who's going to join very, very soon. 20 seconds to go. Because the gap between like the top 12 was like 1.3 seconds, so I think it'll be closer than we thought. So I think they definitely picked the right drivers for this matchup, and yeah, should be a good one.
It should be a good one indeed. Yeah, Will Lewis is back in the session, by the way, which is good to report. So VSR are now up their driver once again. And now the father of lights are about to go out here in China once again for round number 7 of the 24 hours of F1. We're back on time. And we are lights out and away we go. Bit of a laggy start there, but Nathan Samba does get a very good start. Izzet as well with a very good start, and Izzet actually with the strongest start. Miami to the inside line of turn 1 and the Mercedes. Oh, there's contact between them both. Miami absolutely forced the inside line. There's a Ferrari round and a Red Bull round. Max and Tails being caught up in a separate collision further down the field, but Izzet leads the way. Nathan Samba in second. Matcha there in third. Miami not on earth. I'm not sure what he was doing, to be honest, there down the inside of turn 1. Always going to get turned round there, and unfortunately for him, he's down there in 15th position up the line. But Izzet leads the way from Nathan Samba there in second, Macho there in third, Verstappen there in fourth, Cortez in fifth. Felipe is already up into 6th position, doing a good job, of course, for Relentless Man. T-Griff there in 7th, Ginger and 8th, Baby there in 9th, Will Lewis right on the back of VSR in P10. In fact, down to P11 was Z3, so he's left the session once again, so that is why Z3 is around the outside of him, and Z3 are through and he's into 10th position, of course, for Bottle Job Racing. But Izzet leads the way, Nathan Samba in second, Macho there in third. Pretty chaotic first lap.
Yes, it was. We've got Samba on the soft hards. I was expecting him to go for a move on Izzet, but didn't. We're seeing some entertaining battles in the back as Jan Tripkop has had a spin in turns 13. So that's not good. Real DC has had a moment as well. There's a lot of spinners at the moment. Samba's taken the lead from Isa into turn 14 and 15 then, but can Isaac get the switchback heading towards turn 60? Bit of a lag spike there, I can see at the moment, but it's all good, it's all good. As Will Lewis has just joined. I'll probably have to keep inviting Will, I think, at this rate at the moment, but I'm all right with that. As Felipe, I'm worried that I'm going to jinx Felipe, to be honest. Nolan, by the way, he's called, so I'm not going to say anything, but he's got past quarters up to 5th place.
Yeah, he's normally quite aggressive in terms of his move as well. This is the consolidated Felipe. Unlike his commentary a little bit earlier on, this is the consolidated Felipe that we're seeing. He's there in P5 on that sort of soft compound size. That is why he's probably getting along in this race, certainly. Matt's, by the way, spun in the final corner. He lost the car coming out the final corner, and now he's down in P19 from, I think, P13. He was behind Dylan before that. Crazy Birds is down the inside of Energetics as well. This is the battle, of course, for the LOE boys. That's going to be quite happening, and Jan Tripkov now into 14th as well. He gets ahead of Energetics there in 15th. Miami there in 16th, doing a good job as well. We settle down here in China. Nathan Samba leads the way, is up there in 2nd. Macho there in 3rd. Thule, by the way, in the chat saying how to donate. You can donate, of course, by looking in the description of the Twitch stream. If you're not on Twitch, of course, you are in the Discord, you can. As Nathan Samba makes a huge mistake coming out the right-hander there at turn number 13, all the way down now in towards turn 13 and then in towards turn 14, of course. But Nathan Samba absolutely obliterated the track limits there coming through turn number 12, and Nathan Samba just about leads the way, is up there in 2nd, but a huge mistake from him.
We just had an update on the standings, by the way, and Team Umberger has increased their gap at the top of the standings. They're now on 135 points to QBR's 125, so yeah, I'm excited to see how Hamburger plays this one with Jan Tripkov in 14th, but QBR doing a lot better than Hamburger at the moment. QBR's in P4, so chance for QBR to gain quite a bit at the moment as well. VSR on 117. We'll hope that Will doesn't keep disconnecting, otherwise it's going to be a bit of an issue. But Dylan gets past Will up to 11th spot. We've got Energetics has had a bit of a moment coming out of turn 3 and 4. That's unfortunate. Beast now down into last place. Not good for me, but there we go.
Not good at all for him. And Jan Tripkov, by the way, Stu and Crazy Birds gets the job done. Of course, SF1L. Bit of a mouthful to say if you're trying to speak quite quickly. Jan Tripkov, I can't even speak. Jan Tripkov, 13th. Crazy Birds 14th. As Ethereal Ginger, I think, has just made an overtake there on Baby. Baby, in fact, is actually Funi's into P8, so it's actually the alternative move that's happened there. Ginger there down in 9th. And Z Freaks there, who I think had a moment last lap around. He's there in 10th position, doing a good job. Will Lewis is back in the session. Hopefully doesn't keep disconnecting as Baby is round, coming out the right-hander of turn number 11. The McLaren there sent round, I think, because of contact by himself, and now spins completely into wall, reset the track as well, and Baby there down all the way in 17th and being overtaken.
You're not allowed to reset the track, I believe. That's 5 championship points. Gets deducted, I believe, if you reset the track, if they kept the rules from last year.
I think they might have done. Matt is on the back of him as well, into the right-handers. Felipe has now spun. In fact, actually, Felipe is in the pit lane. So Felipe in the pits early. Matt's into the right-hander there of turn 13. Gets the job done. Baby there in 14. Thule, by the way, I was going to come back to your point. There are images in the description of the stream on Twitch. Jan Tripkov is on the back of Will Lewis's AI in towards turn number 1. There are images on the in the description. Click on the image, you can donate. It should take you to the Just Giving link, I think. And obviously you can donate through there if you do want to. As Nathan Samba leads the way still. Is that in 2nd? Macho in 3rd, and Tails has now gone for a spin as well. In the Red Bull, down there in 17th position. Energetics there in 18th. Yuto, by the way, in the chat saying, come on, Ivor, bring Mike. Yes, get support behind Mike. He's there in 13th. He's 13th, and he's currently outperforming the other commentator that's in the lobby, Mr. Ariel Felipe.
Yeah, pretty well. Don't forget Felipe has stopped and Mike hasn't. But to be fair, that is true. Mike's ahead of Nolan, so yeah, Mike, better commentator confirmed. Joking. I'm meant to be commentating I'm meant to be racing in Bahrain yet tomorrow, so I'm scared he's gonna pump me choking. But DRS enabled as well. We'll see if Ice can get past Nathan Samba again. He does not. Apart from obviously cosplaying have a few issues, it's so good to have more platforms being able to take part in this, because there's always been a PC thing. Meanwhile, Dylan gets down the inside of Z3 up to 8th place, and I think the softs are starting to die. This is a track where...
Somebody put you off. Is that for the lead? Yeah, down the inside of turn number 1, gets the job done. Absolutely sailed it down the inside line, gets the job done. Nathan Samba now, those softs are surely beginning to go off. Apologies about the lag spikes. Nothing on my end, by the way. It's not like my connection is dying or anything. It is just we were lag spiking.
Left.
Is that...
Real DC is left.
Ah. Down in 12th position as well. He's got Matt right on the back of him as well, so hopefully he can be drawn back in. Is that the lead in the way? Nathan Samba there in second, Macho there in third. And all of a sudden, what Samba has done is obviously bring Izzat into play. Izzat now in the lead of the race, but what this has done more importantly is bring Macho into play. Now, I commentated on a race around here with Macho just a couple of weeks ago, and Macho was lightning quick around here. In fact, he beat the whole field by about 20 seconds. So Macho there in P3. Watch out for him. He's got QVO Verstappen right on the back of him as well. This could get quite entertaining quite quickly as Macho, surely with 95% of EOS, is going to get the job done on Samba, who is completely screwing his way out of turn number 12.
Yeah, Macho looking very good on the back of Samba, actually. He's even got more ERS to use as well. Samba's only got 3%, so... surely maybe heading towards turn 1, Macho could get the move. Maybe through the hairpin if Samba makes a mistake. They're all very, very tight-knit at the moment, heading towards the final corner. Izzat pulling away, but he can stretch those medium tyres for quite a bit compared to Samba. So, yeah, I think it's going to be very tight as Macho gets towards turn number 1. Is he going to go inside or outside? Oh, my goodness. That is... it was very tight for Macho, to be fair, and Samba. How about turn number 4? Is he going to go through turn number 4? No, he is not. Meanwhile, Dylan has got past Jan Tripkov up to 8th position, but for how much longer? Jan Tripkov is going side by side. Oh, a bit of a love tap there, heading towards turn number 4, but no harm done, no damage, as Real DC has rejoined the lobby, so that's good news.
That is good news indeed. Jan Tripkov right on the back of Dylan. Another lag spike there, but he tries to go all the way around the outside. Nonetheless, through turn number 5. Tries to get the job done out of the exit of turn number 6 now. And Jan Tripkov to the inside line of turn number 7. You don't often see an overtake here too often. And that is an overtake. Jan Tripkov through, and he's into 8th position through the S section. Great stuff. Great defending as well from Dylan. Great battle that, and Jan Tripkov in the end, proving that experience is no object. He is through, he's into P8. Dylan there in 9th. There's now either Bryn Mike has left the session. Everyone seems to be falling by the wayside. Who isn't falling by the wayside, though, is Izzat, leading the way, 9/10 per second. Samba there in 2nd, Macho in 3rd, Verstappen in 4th, Cortez there in 5th, Griff there in 6th, Ginger there in 7th. Will Lewis has managed to rejoin the session there as well. Dylan on the back of Jan Tripkov there, 8th and 9th. Crazy Birds in 10th, Will Lewis in 11th, Macho in 12th, Real DC 13th, Baby 14th, Felipe Tails 16th, 15th and 16th. Energetic Z3, so either Bryn Mike and Miami down in the top 20, and there's still 20 drivers continuing on, which is really good, as of course reduced damage is on. And Nathan Samba getting close once again. Maybe this is just the second impetus that we're seeing on this set of soft compound tyre. Obviously they're coming back online now. Izzat though has got to try and weather this storm. He's got way more EOS than Samba, so surely Izzat has pretty much got his card absolutely numbered in behind.
Yeah, I think if Izzat wants to pull away from Nathan Samba, he's got to do it now, because this is where the time where Samba... Oh.
Samba's... Are we disconnecting from the lobby here?
No, well, I'm good for me. Samba's lagging for me.
Oh, everyone's lagging for me on my end. Verstappen there in 3rd.
Everyone's lagging.
Oh, no. Oh, Macho's got off track as well. Yeah, this is undrivable, I think, for some of these guys.
This is diabolical.
This is crossplay, unfortunately, at its finest within the Codemasters game. Sadly, Izzat leads the way. I think we're back on par. There was a huge lag spike there. Samba has left the session. I wonder how many others have left the session. Yeah, Samba is 2nd still. Macho there in 3rd. I'm not sure what the drivers just saw there. Our timing screens are completely messed up, certainly on my end anyways. We are only a quarter race distance. Izzat leads the way, Nathan Samba in 2nd, Macho there in 3rd, and Montana saying, yeah, it's just Samba's lag. Certainly Samba's lag. I thought the whole lobby was going down there.
I think it was because of Samba's lag that caused the whole lobby to just go kaput.
Yeah.
So, but I do have Samba as a friend, so I will get him back in, hopefully.
as there is a pit stop in behind. Cortez is into the pit lane. So QVR man into the pit lane. I don't think he's actually racing for QVR, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he is racing, if I'm not mistaken, for Olimpo, which is the Portuguese team. So Cortez into the pit lane for Olimpo. What tyres is he going to go on? And it's actually for front wing change. Softs and the front wing change. Where's he lost his front wing, though? I didn't see a spin. Unless the lag has caused his front wing to absolutely go kaput.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people that went off. But, yeah, luckily Macho's still where he is. That he was meant to be anyway. So, it's all good. And what happened there?
Yeah,
Yellow flag.
DC and Z3.
That is DC. DC's had a moment. Turn 2.
I think Z3 was on the outside line of him. What I saw there certainly was DC diving down the inside line.
Oh, baby made contact with Nolan.
He has. He's round at turn number 5. But yeah, Cortez now behind Z3. Real DC, I think, was down the inside line there on Z3. Got the job done in the end, Z3, but obviously contact made with Real DC, trying to force it down the inside line. Sambas left the session once again. At least it didn't lag that time when he left the session. Izzat, though, leading the way, 1.5 seconds. It's very strong indeed. As Jan Tripkov now makes a move on the FRL Ginger, humbling FRL Ginger at this stage. He's through there and into P6. Ginger there in P7. There are yellow flags galore in the middle sector. I think that might be for Z3 from Baby having their battle. And Cortez is stunned. Samba's AI is now in the pit lane. I can't really keep up. Lap down at 28. Izzat leads the way still.
I'm trying to get some more people in back in the lobby who disconnected. There's quite a lot of DCs going on in this lobby. I don't know why. I wonder if it's just the servers having a bit of issues at the moment. But we've got Will Lewis that I can't tell if he's a ghost or not. I think he's back. If someone from Visual can confirm that he's back, he's not ghosted anymore. So touch wood, hopefully he stays for the remainder of the session. TL44 gets past the ghosted Samba there.
Yeah,
there we go.
He's in. His ERS has just been used up there, coming in towards turn number 5. So yeah, Will Lewis is in the session and is catching Crazy Birds as well. So obviously, if his connection really now just stays stable, hopefully, Will Lewis will begin to see what Will is capable of course, here in China. Catching Crazy Birds quickly, he's already gained around 2-3 tenths per second at this stage. There is, though, a more interesting battle developing for 5th. Jan Tripkov, by the way, who got disqualified, of course, going the wrong way, of course, at the start of qualifying. They were starting at the back of the field. In the end, qualified P19 because of Dylan, I think, DNFing, if I'm not mistaken, in that session. And Jan Tripkov now in 5th position, doing a really stunning job. Ginger there and Dylan are in 6th and 7th position. They're trying to catch him, but Jan Tripkov just looks too quick down the straights to even be caught, as Izzat still leads the way for Macho there in 2nd. And Macho is into the pit lane. So Macho is in, as I would have expected him to, around about lap 9, lap 10. Macho is into the pit lane. If he was going one stop, it would be a set of hards. I think it would be going set of mediums, lasting another 12, 13 laps, then maybe for a set of softs.
Mike, can you add me as a friend on PlayStation, please? Because then I can get you back in the lobby if you're tuned in. But we've got, 3 drivers in the pit lane for their first stops of the race. Another yellow flag. That is...
Energetics, out the session. And
yeah, he's out the race.
Ivor Bryn Mike has picked up a 5-second penalty for a severe collision. So Mike is back in the...
It was back in the session, yeah. He rejoined.
Oh. He's rejoined.
And he had to be going into my teammate. Oh, God's sake, Mike.
Shouldn't really laugh, but I think it's Mike joining the session. He's probably ghosted, I'm assuming, inside of Energetics, and then they just crashed. And unfortunately for them...
Yeah, that's probably what happened, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, wrong place, wrong time. 19th position, and Mike goes for a spin, coming into the wall. Mike out of the race. Mike out of the race.
Oh, no.
Some may say from the LOE team that might be a bit of karma there for Mike down in P19.
Yeah, I think so.
Terrible. Izzat leads the way though, Verstappen in 2nd. I can't believe, by the way, we're still only on lap 10 out of 28. I feel like I've been commentating here in China for at least the last half an hour. Izzat leads the way, Verstappen there in 2nd. Verstappen has made a big mistake. Oh no, actually no, Macho came in the pit lane, didn't he? So Verstappen there 3.5 seconds behind. They're both continuing on and in front. Griff there doing well for the IRT team. He's there in 3rd position. Jan Tripkov there in 4th. Ginger there in 5th. They all fly their way through. Got a little bit chaotic this race. Now we're calming down. Matt is on the back of Felipe, looking like the closest battle, as well as Baby on the back of Will Lewis, who's in the wall, coming out of turn number 12.
Oh, it's just a lot of people in the wall in China. I think there's just a lot of spinners today in China. It's just quite hard, but yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we are. And right side impact damage as well for Will Lewis, who absolutely crashed coming into the wall there, coming out of turn number 12. And Will Lewis there, slowing up. Miami's right on the back of him. Miami in China at this stage. Of course, he was in Miami a little bit earlier on. I think it was California who actually raced there. Which it doesn't make any sense if you're American and you just tuned in for the first time.
Oh yeah, I get it. He should have raced in Miami, and then it would have been much better. But there we go.
Go on.
But there's only one driver to have picked up a penalty. Will Lewis is in again. Onto a 7 medium. That's his 2 stops done, I think. Yeah, that's his 2 stops done. So we can focus to get those memes for the rest of the race. I don't think the memes can last that long, you know. Let me have a look. How long do they last around the? They last
no
16
chance.
laps.
No chance.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say, he can go to the end on those compounded tyres, but he's got to be so careful on that set of mediums. Normally I see drivers pin in lap 12, lap 13 on a set of medium compounded tyres, and that's what we're seeing, funny enough, with Izzat, who's in the pit lane, going on to a fresh set of medium compounded tyres. This is his first stop. Verstappen, Griff, Jan Tripkov there, all into the pit lane. Ginger, Crazy Birds also in. Baby, I think, is spun coming through the right-hand return, number 12 there as well. But Izzat leads the way from Verstappen in second, Jan Tripkov there in third, and Macho, where is he going to come out? Right behind Izzat, coming out the pit lane. So not a bad undercut strategy there from Macho whatsoever. Now within DRS range, now in range for attack as well, which is going to be crucial for Macho on the back of Izzat, of course, the former Relentless Man. Under pressure there from Macho there in second for Team NSX. This one is going to get quite spicy very early on here in China, but still under the halfway stage as Izzat leads the way. Macho in second, Verstappen in third. It's only Ecos Max, I believe, that hasn't made a pit stop yet, as well as Baby, who hasn't made a pit stop.
Yeah, so they haven't done their first stops, of course. Interesting facts about China. Unfortunately, it was cancelled next year due to COVID. So, yeah, bit of a shame that China's still not happening, but I think they have a bit more COVID rules, I think, compared to other countries. So, fair enough. And this was the track I remember Michael Schumacher took his 91st and final Formula 1 victory ahead of Alonso and Fisichella back in 2006. So, there we go. And Max is in the Ferrari at the moment. So, yes, as Jan Tripkov has got past Samba up to P8. I believe Samba's back in the session now. Yes, he is, because he's not ghosted anymore, but yeah, he's already been compromised by the game just being the game. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. So Samba there on the back though, Jan Tripkov, he is going to try and think about going for the move back in towards turn 13. Not getting the job done. Hype, by the way, saying, ask James, he will agree. I missed the other comments relating to this. What was he asking in the chat?
He thinks I'm the best driver in the LOE team. No, I'm not.
I think you are. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, to be fair, Energetics is out the race. You're here in the commentary box, and you're probably going to take over from them and put the race's time. So there we go.
I'm not driving until 3 in the morning.
Oh, 3 in the morning. Goodness me! Yeah. As Ginger actually goes to the move on Samba. How on earth he pulled that off down the inside of turn number 1? Great move. Wow. Samba in the end. On that sort of hard compounded tyres, completely outskilled by Ginger. You could say maybe humbled by that. Ginger Thuney's into 9th.
Ooh.
Terrible. I'm just going to let that one sink in. Ginger in 9th, Samba there in 10th. Izzat leads the way, Macho in 2nd, Verstappen in 3rd, Felipe in 4th. There are plenty more puns to come tomorrow, by the way, when we get to the final 2 rounds of the championship. Hype, by the way, saying not in the team, in the event. In the event. Interesting. Now, you're twisting my arm there, Hype. You're twisting my arm there, Hype. We've got Montana in the event. We've got Smokey in the event. They're probably the class acts, I think.
Yeah, they're better than me, so shush, Hype.
He's just trying to big you up. That's what he is.
Yeah, he is. He's a big fan of me. He's asked the question, are you commentating in the night, James? The answer to that is no. He's not commentating until the last 2 slots tomorrow, aren't you? Saudi Arabia and Bahrain.
I believe I'm also taking over Spain, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this was
right.
because Luke has mentioned there is a spinner. Cortez has coming through the right-hand return number 12.
Luke's unwell, unfortunately, so he was going to commentate Luke Etheridge, of course, but he's been coughing every 5 seconds. So, yeah, unfortunately, he has to miss his event as Miami is trying to get past Baby up to 13th place, but no can do, says Miami, as he wants to try and get past turn 16. This could end in tears. It did not end in tears. Miami does get past Baby up to 13th, so the Forest lot will be very happy about that as Baby tries to get one on him again around the outside into turn 2. Can he hold his line? Hopefully no contact. Hopefully no instance. Otherwise there could be a commentator's. Nice. That was very, very good racing indeed. Yeah, you forgot Drake Dempsey as well. Yeah, but he hasn't raced yet, so technically we don't know. But there we go. What about turn 6 for Baby? No. Good race between the pair of them. It's really, really great to see as Cortez is into the box. I believe that's his second stop. Yes, it is. He's onto a set of the medium compounded tyres. I think that should get to the end, but we'll see.
Griff, by the way, all over the back of Max for P5 as well. Verstappen, by the way, pitted for a set of soft compound tyres, and he's catching quite quickly on the back of Macho, who's just lagging behind on that set of hards, as now Griff overtakes Max down the straight. Job done there for Griff. He is through, and he's into 5th position, as Max there drops into 6th. And Dylan, to be fair, is now ahead of the man he started on the back of the grid with, Jan Tripkov there in 8th position, doing a good job. Max in the pit lane frees these guys up, and now we're going to get a battle between Dylan and Jan Tripkov on the way down the straight. Bit of limited EOS there from Jan on the run down and towards turn 1. There was a spinner in the middle sector. I think that's Cortez again, if I'm not mistaken, through the middle sector, or Real DC, one of the two. I think it's Real DC who was round. Not unfortunately the Real DC, that's only David Coulthard. Is that leads the way, Macho in 2nd, Verstappen in 3rd, Felipe in 4th, but Jan Tripkov on the back of Dylan. Crazy Bird's right on the back of Samba as well. The battle's beginning to develop further down the field. Samba's all out of shape, and Crazy Bird's absolutely sailed on by to the inside line. Passing of the Red Sea on the curve through turn 4. Crazy Birds is through and he's into 9th.
Yeah, to the PC guys, fighting for position there. That's great to see. We're pretty much halfway in this race already, and anything could still happen. And I think the main things that are happening are in the midfield at the moment, isn't it? It looks like it's a battle for position. Now, I'm a bit baffled as to why Baby is not boxed yet. Does he know it's a 2-stop race?
I think maybe he's going set of mediums, and then he'll probably try and go 7 to 8 laps on those mediums, and then put in for sort of soft compound tyre. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, is that going to make a mistake coming out of turn 12? Sorry to cut you off there, Jess.
No, it's fine.
Jan Tripkov through, and he's into the number 6 out on track. Dylan there in 7th, and Dylan made that mistake. Just a slight snap of oversteer on banking, just enough to obviously back off the throttle, and therefore Jan Tripkov through, and he's into 6th. Dylan there in 7th. As I say, the battle for what was the last row on the grid. This is now a net battle for P5 out on track, as Felipe is into the pit lane as well. This is for his 2nd stop. Felipe, he pitted on lap 4, and now he'll be going, I would imagine, if he's got them, of another fresh set of medium compound tyres to the end of the race for around 12 or 13 laps, which would be very good indeed. Jay Wizzy, by the way, saying in the chat there, Dylan the effing goat. We're still under the 9 o'clock watershed at this stage, so we can't really say that word. But Jay Wizzy saying there, Dylan is the goat. Yeah, quite literally at this stage. Felipe, by the way, out the pit lane and out ahead, tail to Miami, which is good.
Yeah, and he's done 2 stops, so very ideal as well. And he's got some clear air as well. You really want to be going in front of clear air, because otherwise you're going to be in a spot of bother. So he's going to see if he can get up to where he is at the moment. Everyone around him still needs to stop. So, yeah, I think he's in definitely a good position. 21.5 seconds you lose, I believe, in the pit lane. So quite a lot to lose, but we'll see if he can get back to it at the moment. What can Yang do this time? He's got the DRS. I think he's got to be within a few attempts, really, to stand a chance of getting past the IRT man. To be fair play to the IRT man, who's done really, really well so far in this race so far. Definitely an outsider who I wasn't expecting to do well. Cortez gets past Baby, up to 16th position. Everyone's done their first stop at least. Oh, that was close. Young Tripkov almost made contact with T. Griff there.
That was just real sliding, basically on the brake. Verstappen, by the way, is into the pit lane, just was not making any inroads on that to the softs. Macho, to be fair, not making any inroads on that to the hard compound tyre. I always say in commentaries around here, medium's probably the tyre to be on, and Verstappen has indeed gone onto that set of mediums. He is coming out the pit lane, I would assume, out ahead of Z3 perhaps, who's actually in the pit lane, so this is going to be a lot easier for Verstappen. He's going to be ahead of Z3 and miles ahead of Felipe. He's going to be the next man alongside him. Jan Tripkov now on the back of Griff, into the right-hander again, turn number 6. He's not actually going to dive it from an absolute mile back to the inside line. Jan Tripkov, what a move that is on the brakes. Aggressive, but I like it. Jan Tripkov through and he's into third. How on earth did he come from that far back? I do not know. That is why the PC man is now out for war here in China. Jan Tripkov through and he's into third with probably one of the most audacious moves I think I've ever seen in China.
That was a very brave move and a well-executed move as well. So well done to Jan Tripkov. Could he be on course to get a podium after starting at the back of the grid? That'll be really great to see and show that anyone could do well from near the back of the grid as well. So yeah, but he still needs to make a stop. But and he's wearing the fish helmet for good measure, who got absolutely robbed in the Formula 1 Game Awards, by the way. It didn't win best helmet. I got it because I love the fish helmet. But there we go. He's using the fish helmet to good use today after getting past T-Griff.
Oh, Macho's
out the race!
Through the final corner, Macho out of the race. Will come to the scene of the accident very soon as Jan Tripkov comes through the final corner. He's got caught on the outside curb and he's bending into the wall on the left-hand side. So Macho out of the race. NSX points absolutely gone out the window. They're only going to get an 18th position. They're only going to be classified, I think, down in that. Izat leads the way, Jan Tripkov in second, Griff there in third, and Izat now has been handed this race on an absolute plate.
I think he's very, very relieved that it's not happened to him because it can happen to anybody. So I wonder how old the tyres that Macho was actually on. He was on 7-lap-old hards. Maybe they were just too cold still for him. I don't know, but yeah, really sad.
There is a bump coming out the final corner, which I've noticed certainly in commentary around here. There's a bump on the outside, basically where the curb is. And that is why I think he spun the car. He's got over-rotated too much on the curb on the outside, spun the car around. There are so many bumps around this track, you won't believe it. It does look very uneven through the banking, but there are bumps at this track where it just causes the car to be unsettled. Macho, sadly, though, out of the race. Energetics has left the session as well. Hopefully that doesn't cause any glitches in terms of the stream. Dylan, though, now on the back of Griff, interestingly. This is now a battle. What was going to be P3, now it's a battle for P2 as Griff scratches the back of Jan Tripkov potentially in toward the right-hander of turn number 13. Closing in. Doesn't want to try and risk it down the inside line. Jan Tripkov takes the middle of the road. He's still there in second. And actually, Griff gets completely outdone there by Dylan. And actually, I think Griff, I'm not sure if he's disconnecting or something, certainly got ghosted inside, and Dylan all of a sudden is soon he's into P3. Again, one of the most ridiculous moves and overtakes I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, there's been some brave moves I think today, which is great to see. Some of them worked very well and some of them has not. But yeah, fair play to the AlphaTauri driver of NLR Dylan, another team that's done quite well as well. So has Griff left the session? He was ghosted for a minute there as Dylan got past the ghosted Griff, and now Griff's not a ghost anymore.
There looks like there's a bit of desync going on. In fact, I think there is desync going on here in the lobby.
Yeah.
Now that the lobby host has left, Energetics is now left. Somebody's obviously taken control of the server, if you like, and obviously taken control of the lobby. And now Jan Tripkov on our end certainly is now P3. And it certainly looks like he's going in ghost mode or AI at this stage.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
Dylan now in second is just a human compared to Jan Tripkov and Griff, who are AI cars. And if these guys get robbed, honestly, because of a desyncing lobby host, then it just comes to show that crossplay, I think, is a little bit worse.
It's not ready.
Yeah.
It's definitely not ready.
Just you put it like that. I was going to say it was a little bit worse for wear, but I think that's probably putting it right on the nail on the head, as Griff is on the back now of Jan Tripkov even, in toward the right-hand return 13. But look, they've lost 1.2, 1.3 seconds to the back of Dylan. They're not close enough for the EOS, and they look like they're being taken control of AI at this stage. Yodi, by the way, in the chat, that's Macho there in the chat saying he got stuck on the curb, he bottomed out and got centered into the wall. So exactly what I mentioned, that outside curb, bottoming out on that outside curb. Unfortunate for him, now Macho out of the race, and NSX from hero to zero, sadly, in terms of their last two results.
Yeah, because obviously they did well in Miami and they're doing rubbish here.
Yeah, they won actually in Australia last round as well with Montana. Slash saying, how hard is it to stay in the lobby? I agree. How hard is it to stay in a lobby on an F1 game? Yeah. Answers on post.
The lobbies need to be done differently next game in terms of how they run.
They do. Now, I've heard, don't quote me at this, I've heard apparently that they're going to be putting the Unity engine apparently in next year's game. Don't quote me on that. I've read rumours about it, potentially. So, might be getting a new game engine.
I don't even know what that means, but...
basically a new game engine. So, it means everything will run probably a bit smoother.
Oh, good.
Hope so.
I hope so. I hope so, too. I don't even know. So...
Yeah. Dylan still in second. Jan Tripkov and Griff, I can only assume... And in fact, actually, I can only assume now that... I can't imagine that they've dropped off in pace. They cannot have dropped off in pace compared to Dylan, who's on, what, 2 lap older tyres. He absolutely sailed on by both of them. He's 2 seconds ahead of Jan Tripkov and Griff, and it still looks like they're losing around 5-6 tenths a lap. I don't get what's going on. Dylan there in second, doing a fantastic job, and Jan Tripkov and Griff, Baby is out the race, coming to the S section.
I think he just went too flat out in that corner and he lost the rear and he's out of the race. So China has taken 4 victims today.
Yeah, indeed. China there, 4 victims. Baby, 2 McLarens. Ivor Bryn Mike also included in that, so he is not the go-to commentator of tonight's lobby here in China. Macho there, 18th as well. Energetics out the race early on, and Baby out of the race, the 4th. Beginning to go. Dylan, apparently he's rapid, is what has been said by Hype, and Hype might be giving the hype to Dylan, certainly. Don't want to use that pun ever again. Dylan there, 13.2 seconds. 2 lap older hards, 2 lap older mediums, I should say, around about 8 to 10% in terms of tyre wear around here. Dylan is catching Izza. He's caught him by a second over the last 2 laps.
Yeah, he has. He really has. He's smashing it at the moment, I have to say, with the likes of Dylan. And I mean, well, we have to look at stops as well. That can make a difference. A lot of people are stretching it out for the soft compound tyres at the end, but they don't really want to go on the soft just yet because they will lose their optimum pace very quickly after lap 4 or 5. Yeah, plenty of chance for people still in this lobby to gain some decent points on their rivals that obviously have retired due to crashes. I think they're all been due to crashes. No retirements in pits, luckily, because if anyone retires in the pits in this lobby, I will have some words, because it's for charity. As Dylan is in, by the way, and so is Crazy Bird, so they're going in for their final stop, as it looks like.
Is this for a set of softs for Dylan? Yes, it is. Red wall tyre on. Dylan makes his second pit stop. He's going to be coming out the pit lane, probably ahead of Crazy Birds. It may be even behind Samba. Yeah, I think he's going to be around Felipe area. There is Felipe coming out the pit lane. There is... Oh, is that Dylan joins on the path of Felipe in towards turn 1. It's so difficult to try and even get an overtake to them. Felipe. It has to be.
It has to be desync.
Dylan there in 7th.
He just ghosted through.
He didn't go through my end, but the way Felipe reacted there, it was not a question of he's just made a mistake sort of reaction. That was a reaction of an AI car. I'm convinced.
Yeah, that looked like it, doesn't it? And Samba's disconnected as well. My end. Oh, there's a lot of people ghosted my end.
Yeah, Samba disconnecting. Just trying to see as well. I think everyone in the top 5 is fine. Izzat is going to be coming in the pit lane. One would imagine this lap around. No, he continues on at least another lap. So Izzat continues on at least one more lap. Jan Trepkov there in second has pulled away from Griff, to be fair. It's now 1.4 seconds. Pipe saying, by the way, hats on PS? Maybe. Maybe. And actually, Jan Trepkov, according to my screen, is in the pit lane, even though he's just coming into the pit lane entry now, which is very strange. It is complete desync.
Yeah, I think we're both suffering desync at the moment.
He's slowed down. So he slowed down. The pit lane, and now he's coming out the pit lane. What on earth? What on earth are we seeing?
What are we seeing in this China lobby? Oh my! What has caused this is the host to leave the lobby.
Yeah. And I've got my head in my hands because I literally cannot explain what is going on. There is a yellow flag in Sector 3. That is, I believe...
A phantom yellow flag.
Yeah, that's Real DC, if I'm not mistaken, down at the back of the field.
Yeah.
He's there in 16. Izat, by the way, is on the other side of the track, so obviously he's not desynced at all in this, and is pulling away from Griff, so I can only assume Izat is going in human mode. That's what we're seeing. Griff there is in second. He's ghosted on your screen, certainly. And the rest of the field, it seems to me, might be ghosted completely. Jan ahead of Dylan.
The only one that's ghosted is Samba. The only one that's ghosted is Samba for me.
Yeah, Samba for me, yeah. Oh, I don't know
Dylan has got past him.
Yeah, Dylan threw and he's into fifth. Jan Trepkov, though, ahead of Dylan, which was the big thing there, because he was behind him, I believe, before the pit stop. Of course, with the desync that we experienced, I certainly saw the timing screen. In fact, actually, on my timing screen... Oh, no, he just came at the pit lane. Ignore me. Last time around, I noticed the timing screen had changed by about 20 seconds or so. So, we had a bit of desync. I think everything's fixed itself now, I hope. Is that though?
Apparently Felipe's P4 on this screen.
And he's P7 on ours.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Oh, God. Why do I always join a lobby that has issues?
We've got a phantom yellow flag now in the middle sector, which has just gone. Back to green flag racing. And now, we've got... Who on earth is that coming out of the pit lane? Was that Griff? I think that was... I've just seen Griff being spawned completely out of his pit box. He's in the first sector now. He's coming... In fact, he's actually got Crazy Bird right behind him.
Oh, it's desync. It's definitely desync.
You can only but laugh at this point, I think.
Oh, can they just red flag the race?
Might have to. Might have to. We're still going to continue on, as regardless of what we're told, certainly. I certainly have not checked Discord as to what is going on.
It's still carrying on until they say otherwise.
Still continuing on. Looks like...
Another phantom yellow flag. 2 phantom yellow flags.
Yeah, so, there we go. The conversation's beginning in Discord. Felipe's P4, he's ahead of Dylan behind Verstappen. He's not on our screen, he's P6, he's on a set of mediums, and he's getting overtaken.
He's P7 on my screen.
He's getting overtaken by Ginger on my screen.
Same.
And now this is for P6, P7. I don't get what's going on.
No, it's P7 for me.
P7, P8 is that the battle? Oh my.
Oh, yeah, it's different on your screen to mine. I'm seeing your stream.
Ginger P6, Felipe P7. I can only commentate on what's in front of my screen, certainly. And Nathan's saying that...
this is annoying. It is caused by the host leaving. Oh my god.
At least one thing that we can say for certain. Real
Don't
DC...
leave if you're the host.
And that. And Real DC is definitely in 16th position. Just had it confirmed by Nathan. Definitely in there. Jan Trepkov and Dylan, by the way, in what is a phantom battle for P3. Dylan threw and he's into P3, and now Izat all of a sudden was 4 points.
Jan Trepkov is P5 on my screen.
Oh, he's P4 on my screen. What on earth is going on? I do not know.
Oh god.
You just... Honestly, if you're in my position and you're in Jess's position right now, you'd be banging your head off a wall. A right brick wall, I think, at this stage. Oh.
Oh. So, I don't know what will be the actual results.
I think, yeah, there's going to be some sort of discussion. I'm certainly going to stay live.
I would have avoided this race, to be honest.
Might have to be. Griff is 6th for us. Griff is 8th for me.
Griff is 4th for me.
He's 4th for you, he's 8th for me, and he's 6th for them. There's some way in between. Jan Tripkov now is fighting down the inside of Dylan. For P3.
Not on my screen.
What?
Not on my screen.
Oh my god. Is that leads the way by 13 seconds on my screen?
Yeah, well, at least that's right.
Verstappen's on the set of mediums, he's in 2nd on my screen. And I think that's where the differences may end.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's right is the gaps between P1 and P2.
Nathan
And P3.
Nathan now apparently saying, and I think he's probably heard this on stream, that Real DC apparently is now P1 for him. Yeah, you're not getting away with that. You're not getting away with that at all. Dylan now, by the way, is through into P2 on my end. There's another phantom yellow flag in the middle sector.
Yeah, he's P2 my end now.
Dylan P2 on their end. Ben JS is saying in the Discord as well, commentators desync as Jack is having battles with people. Yes, he is.
Oh, so the drivers are fine apparently. It's just us that are having a desync.
Looks like it. Looks like it. But no, but if they've got different angles from us. Are they in the correct positions on their end? That's what we're going to have to figure out.
I don't know. I literally don't know.
Oh, what a way to end
Gary to the rescue.
Gary to the rescue. Here we go. Gary's messaging in Discord. We'll get the results from a few drivers and see if they match up and go from there. There we go. There's an official confirmation.
Verstappen has been passed by Griff now. Griff's up to 3rd on my screen.
No.
The battle.
Verstappen's P3 and he's 0.5 of a second ahead of Jen Tripkov in 4th.
Oh god, quick trick off his P5.
Felipe and Griff are having a good battle. A fake battle, we could only assume, for P7 and 8 at this stage.
And then ghosted. Oh god.
And actually, Griff is pulling away from Felipe down the straight as well. They're P7 and P8 on my screen, as I say. Side of softs for Griff, set of mediums for Felipe. Another phantom yellow flag in the final sector this time. Izzat leads the way. 13.3 seconds. The one constant that has been, certainly on both of our screens, Izzat has maintained that gap to whoever behind him. 13.2 seconds. He has looked absolutely dominant since Macho's spin.
Yeah, he has. To be honest, he's been leading since the very start for most of it, and he's doing a great job. He's got 1.5 laps to go. As long as he keeps it clean on those softs, he's on the freshest tyres as well. He should be all good.
He should be all good indeed. Just been a message, by the way, put out on Discord as well. If you're the lobby host, please don't leave, even if you DNF after the race is over. That's what we find out, certainly here in China. But we are, thankfully, for many of us, going on to the final lap of the race very soon indeed. Izzat leads the way, Dylan in 2nd. Here comes Jan Tripkov's AI on the back of Verstappen's AI for battle for P3 down the straight. It's like commentating on a 5-lap race around here. Jan Tripkov around the outside. Does get the job done, and he's into P3 on Verstappen. That's on my end, anyways.
He's just running on his own, my end.
That brick wall, I don't have my camera on my PSGL. That wall on the right-hand side of me is going to get punched, I think, after this race.
I wish I can, but I'm commentating next race.
You are indeed. Good luck, is what I will say, probably.
Thanks.
Izzat leads the way, though. 13.3 seconds. He's been the constant as to everyone, I think, in this lobby. He has done an absolutely sensational job. Obviously, I'm not under the impression that this race is going to be taken. I'm sure you're not, Jess, as well. I think the results are probably going to be scrapped. There is a spinner, however, and that, I think, is Real DC who has spun.
Yeah, that is Real DC, yeah.
We've told something at least. Real DC has spun.
Yay!
He's in P15 and Matt is suddenly in 16th, which I don't get. But anyways.
Yeah, the gaps are the same for me as well. But Izzat has got a few more corners to go, and he would win it for his team.
Definitely so, yeah. Izzat has just absolutely dominated this race. As I say, if Macho was still in this race, I think there would have been a really good fight, certainly towards the end of the race. The race certainly taken some sting out of it, certainly, by the desync, by everything that's been going on in this race. But Izzat now currently crossed the line. He's through the final corner on my end. Now across the line to take the win in China. Complete desync. Verstappen there in the end is in 2nd.
coming towards the penultimate corner.
He's coming into the final corner now for me. Verstappen in the end is crossing the line now in second. He's around the final corner.
What is going on?
Finishes in second. Jan Tripkov's already came across the line to finish in third. Griff round the final corners finishing in fourth. Dylan in the end is fifth. Felipe is in sixth. Ginger is in seventh. Samba eighth.
No, Samba's in. Hold on. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Ginger 7th, Samba 8th, did you say?
Yep.
Crazy Birds 9th, Z3 10th, yeah?
Yeah, I think we're seeing the correct result now.
I think we're seeing the correct result, yeah. TL44 12th, Miami 11th.
Yep.
Will 13th, Cortez 14th, Will DC 15th, Matt 16th. Right.
We've got the right results.
We've got the right results, at least.
Even though we have been commentating on a fake race for the last half an hour or so, we have eventually got the correct result. Cortez, by the way, to the line to finish in 14th, and Matt's AI is down there in 16th. I think he disconnected from the session.
Well, we have to find out from the drivers as well, because we're just comparing it from a commentator's standpoint. We need to find out from the drivers if it's exactly the same.
Yeah, Matt's now to the line, finishes then P16, and now we've got
results are correct. I've just been told by Nolan that results are correct.
Results are correct. So Matt's 15th, Real DC 16th?
Yes.
And because we've got a glitch in the lobby, Matt apparently is still going out on track.
Oh, God. Oh, no, we're good.
We're good, there we go. Finally. Nathan's saying as well, yeah, that's the correct result. It's the same result that's on Verstappen's POV, so we can trust Verstappen, certainly. Jan Tripkov apparently gets drive of the day of all the game fans. I don't know who to give that drive of the day to. Probably the only one man that was constant in that race, and that was the race winner in Izza, who, on our end, was the same. 13 seconds in the end winning, and Izza certainly deserves drive of the day, awarded by the in-game fans. Probably, certainly, not awarded by Codemasters, at least, given that complete and utter fallacy, is what I'm going to say.
I'm a bit frustrated about what we witnessed. We didn't know what was going on. So, yeah, apologies of what you just witnessed, by the way, because that was absolutely... we couldn't see anything. We saw fake battles all the time, but... there we go. I swear to God it doesn't happen in the next race, because otherwise that would be an absolute nightmare.
It will be. All of that stress, I think, that's put us through, I hope is going to get us a few extra donations. Put it that way.
Yes, please.
That would be awesome if it did. However, the correct result is apparently as follows. If it is the correct result, is as follows. It is Izzat on top from Verstappen there in second. Jan Tripkov with the fastest lap of 1:33.6 there in third. Griff there in fourth, with Dylan there in fifth. Felipe in sixth. Ginger seventh. Nathan Samba in eighth. Crazy Birds there in 90th. Threekser for Bottle Job Racing there down in P10. Miami in 11th. Tails in 12th. Will Lewis 13th. Cortez 14th. They are the ones that apparently finished and got classified along with Reezy and Matcha a lap down. Baby there 17th. Matcha on 18th. Feel really sorry for Matcha. We didn't really deserve that. I've Bryn Mike down in 19th. And Energetics, unfortunately, picking up the wooden spoon down there in P20. My goodness me. That was chaos. Hectic, and now we're going to do it all over again once again, and I, however, leaving the commentary box for the next race. Jess, you're going to be taking over, of course. Who are you commentating alongside? Is it Dan?
Yes, it is Daniel Daku's joining back after an hour break. So, yeah, but I'm going to need a break after all of that, because I need to get a drink.
Certainly so, certainly so. We're going to fling it then back to J. Cole, back, of course, to the live stream once again. I really hope you did enjoy that race. We'll run through the donations very quickly. I'm just going to get up the links very quickly indeed. Give me a second. I'm just trying to get this up on my end. And at the moment, we have got £590 raised for the British Heart Foundation. Felix, as we mentioned at the start of the stream, the start of the Chinese Grand Prix anyways, he sent in a message, £7 donation. Thank you so much, Felix. Great racing for great causes. Remembering our friend Mads, these 24 hours, this race goes to show the kindness of the F1 League racing community, which makes me proud. Good luck to all competing. And also for the brain tumor research as well. I'm just going to have a look I'd see if we've got any existing more donations for that. £229, so exactly the same as we started off, is exactly the same they are. And Funky Chicken, if you are watching this stream and we're still live on our end, no, I'm not going to be singing live on the stream, and I'm not going to be giving that for £2. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'm in a better mood tomorrow, but after that race, I don't think I'm going to sing.
Yeah, so I think we better get going for. I think we definitely need a new lobby after that. If someone says no, then they're screwed. But yeah, we need a new lobby after this. So yeah, I'll let you round off this bit before we have our break.
Yeah, definitely so. On the next round of the
Singapore.
It's Singapore. You're already on it. You're absolutely on it. Singapore.
I have to do notes for this track. I'm aware of what's going on.
Longest race in this event, certainly from our perspective as well. Of course, every single penny of that is given to both charities, of course, goes to both charities. And of course, we remember NSX Mads and Vadim Shvekov, of course, who sadly passed away as a result of heart attack and brain cancer.
We've got a Stewards update. -3 points for Team Hamburger for reset to track for China.
And that was caught on stream. So Team Hamburger,
Yes, it was.
Team Hamburger are probably going to come for me in the final couple of races tomorrow, I think. Terrible. I'm going to escape before they try and get me before then, and I'm probably going to try and catch up on the Strictly final, which is, I don't know what's been happening there. I'm going to catch up on the Strictly final. We're going to fling it back over to J. Cole, however. Big thank you, of course, to Miss Jessica Ball for joining me in the commentary box. I am going to be back, of course, I believe for Spain for my first stint tomorrow, and then, of course, for the final 2 rounds in Saudi Arabia, and indeed in... Where's the final round again? Abu Dhabi.
I should know because I'm racing in it.
It's not Abu Dhabi.
Bahrain.
It's Bahrain. Goodness me, it's Bahrain. Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. Final 2 rounds of the 24 Hours of F1 event. Maybe by then we'll find our champion. Who knows? We're going to be back. I'm going to be back certainly tomorrow morning, fresh and early, hopefully bright-eyed as well. We're going to now fling it over to J. Cole before we get this next lobby up and running. So, Mr. J. Cole, over to you, my friend.
Woo!